Welcome to the High Ground Podcast. I'm Stevie.
And Cullum.
So, we're back with Indiana Jones and celebrating 40 years of Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. And today, as you can tell by the title, commentary track for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, 89.
It's going to be interesting.
It is. I mean, same before we're doing this is going to be, I think, the hard one because you always do find you problems of just watching.
Yeah, definitely. Like
Batman. Yeah. Good movie and same year, 89.
It was, yeah.
So, as always, I'm going to count down 3, 2, 1, and we'll hit. We'll do it on 1. Lethal Weapon style. 3, 2, 1. So, let me just get the right controller to do this. 3, 2. Paramount logo. And a nice little blend into. I love these. I mean, where they actually blend into the, the background becomes the Paramount logo.
Yeah, it's quite cool. It's going to be weird not seeing the Paramount logo.
Yeah, see how they actually do with the because they'll have to use the Cinderella castle.
Yeah.
So but going back to the traditional font that they used in Raiders after changing for the prequel Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
So I actually prefer it like that because I thought it was Temple of Doom was too much in your face. It was, but
yeah, it was like the actual logo writing, wasn't it?
Yeah, but this one I think I do prefer this.
Give the fire a wiggle, I can't hear it.
There we go. Yeah. Due to copyright reasons, we have to make sure that you can't hear any of the original audio.
Just the Skittles rattling in the background. That's our creative voice for commentary.
Play out. If anyone from Skittles listening and wants to give us a sponsorship deal, we'll happily take it.
Yeah.
Sean Connery is Henry Jones.
Strange because I just watched Hunt for Red October this morning before coming here.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He is good. And ironically, that was a role that Harrison Ford nearly got. And I eventually did get.
Whoa. I was watching, I was watching a bit of For Your Eyes Only.
Oh, yeah.
Because after finishing the Young Rock and Sky comedy, I wanted to show Charlotte, my fiance, it was Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Mavia.
Oh, yeah.
I know we discussed this in the scene breakdown. In the last podcast. But I think that this scene, the opening works better with time.
Yeah, it does.
For a new generation. I mean, when this came out 31 years ago, 32 years ago.
Yeah.
So a lot of people watching it now wouldn't know really about River Phoenix, the younger generation.
No, yeah. We just popped the frame off. The frame with like the writing and stuff.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, well, this is the thing we do it through.
Because YouTube have a silly thing of darkening the picture when you've got the.
We're doing it through a digital copy.
That's the way you all want to go, folks. Digital is so much easier.
The thing is, I buy films digitally so that you can run it through YouTube on Google Play, so I can run it through YouTube.
Yeah.
Create cinema playlist with ad trailers and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I get mine on iTunes, but you can't do the trailer thing.
But I love this. You think it's Indiana Jones and Fedora, his name is.
Well, we said this on the intro, didn't
Yeah.
we? How original the names are.
You have to wait this long into the film to actually find out the date that it's set. Just how in 1912 when you didn't realise it was Phoenix who played Harrison's son in Mosquito.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
It's the main sort of backbone to this film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Torture and Glory and Temple of Doom, and it belongs in a museum. I like to think this guy is like our universe version of Porkins.
Yeah. You gotta have someone in there.
Just to make
William Hookers, he was in.
Oh yeah, Raiders. Yeah, good
Raiders.
God. I didn't even mean that there.
And he was also in that year.
Yeah, Eckhart. Yeah, yeah. Ironic that there was a character called Eckhart in Batman, wasn't there?
Yeah. That is brilliant.
I spent years thinking that guy with the little bonnet on was Sean Astin.
Ah,
He does look like it.
does.
But then I realised he's probably about 15 then. Was he in the Goonies, wasn't he?
Yeah. I
think-
think he was 86.
86, yeah.
The biggest thing about Goonies, because you got Phoenix, who was in Stand By Me, with Corey Feldman, who was in the Goonies.
Yes, that's right, yeah. I'm going to stun the whole movie going wild here by saying I've never seen the Goonies.
I hadn't watched it, and I got sick of it during the 80s because I overwatched it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until recently, then my fiance wanted to watch it, and I was feeling very, very sad over Richard Donner, so we went and bought it, and then I forgot how really good that film is. The problem this is one of the things why I always think if you're analysing a film, watching it, when there's a commentary track, I'm all for just the Indiana Jones, and this, that we have so far, this is the hard one because it's so enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely. It's my favourite. Like, it's kind of like the Empire situation where A New Hope is the best, in quote marks, but my favourite Empire. Just like with this, Raiders is the best.
Yeah.
But this is my favourite.
A New Hope is, to me, is a perfect movie, and
because Raiders is
exactly, and we could easily have done last year a celebration of Empire Strikes Back, but everybody does it.
Yeah.
But Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark, to me, I mean,
it's a better angle, isn't it?
Yeah, and I really want to bring to like how Indiana Jones is equally important as Star Wars.
Yeah, definitely. To the action genre as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I said in the last two, commentaries we did, and other podcasts that I've recently changed my favourite action film from Die Hard to Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, Die Hard's still fucking fantastic. But I don't know, there's something about Raiders, isn't there, that just... I think maybe Die Hard's inspired too many clones, in a way. Like, it's still perfect.
Yes.
But there's so many Die Hard on a ... films now, aren't there? There's not many things like this.
Ironically, Die Hard the actual 5 movies, they lost the plot after 3 by breaking
the
formula.
By making him a superhero.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably more video games that try and copy indie than there are, Tomb Raider and Uncharted. Rather than... There's not many films about, like, treasure hunters, are there?
No. Pirates of the Caribbean, but they are in the treasure map. The first one.
Yeah.
That's Disney, and Indiana Jones also.
Also owned by Disney now, yeah.
I love this bit. I love this because it's sort of like... This bit is actually explaining why Indiana Jones is Indiana Jones right down to his look.
Yeah. And the snakes and the whip.
Yeah.
And the hat at the end as well.
I mean, I think this is perfect. And this musical cue. A few years ago, I was lucky enough. Actually, I was in Cardiff, and I go to HMV looking for soundtracks. And for every other day when I went in, they had a different Indiana Jones soundtrack. So I was like, I'm having it. So at the end of the week, I had all 3 of the original Indiana Jones soundtracks.
What a John Williams.
Yeah.
You can't. There's a nice little, I've just noticed there, little sort of parallel with Raiders where Alfred Molina says, toss me the idol, I throw you the whip. Yeah. And he's like, Oh, toss the whip.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I don't know.
noticed that.
It kind of looks like a reversal, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's like, was it? It's like, is it poetry? Is it?
Oh, it rhymes.
It
Yeah.
rhymes.
And then he goes, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's one of those funny videos I'll always remember, like, even as a kid. I craved anything to do with the making of Phantom Menace. And there's that scene where he says, yeah, it's like poetry, it rhymes. Hopefully. As if, like, this might not work.
But he was a genius. He is a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the best of both worlds. You have George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. I mean,
at the height of their power. Well,
yeah.
Spielberg definitely, and I think Star Wars have been over by, what, 6 years by now? But I'd imagine people were still interested.
Star Wars was dead.
Yeah,
it was
really
dead. This is where it was embarrassing to say you like Star Wars. People forget that. Oh,
Indiana, yeah. Also, the inspiration for Chewbacca.
Yeah. You know, George Lucas in his car and having Indiana, the dog.
I take it that's not actually Sean Connery's body, is it?
No, that's Alex Hyde White, Mr. Fantastic and Fantastic Four, the original.
Oh, really?
Foreman. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Setting up the Grail. Well, for me, like George Lucas, everybody knows George Lucas' Star Wars, and they think of it more than Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But I just want to do a little bit of plug for American Graffiti, which also stars and DHX1138.
With the great Donald Pleasance and Robert Duvall, isn't it?
Yeah. And Donald Pleasance leads us on to Halloween, which leads us on to October.
Which leads us on to James Bond as well.
So, because we're as of recording in September 2021, and we've got Halloween coming up, and we've also got the new James Bond.
And James Bond is 60 next year.
Yeah. So next year we are doing a celebration of James Bond.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah. I love this. This is coming up. This is. He even looks a bit like Harrison Ford.
He does, actually. I've seen that guy before, actually.
I love this
film called Innocent Man.
Oh.
Tom Selleck.
I've seen it years ago.
He's one of the bad cops in it.
Oh. There's a smile in his face.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones obsessive because he just doesn't let anything go.
I think he's quite obsessive. You know, he's definitely got some sort of disorder going on, hasn't he?
Or is it nowadays they'd say he's on the spectrum?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, Sherlock Holmes is sort of retroactively classified as being autistic, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, we know it's a studio set, and you can't see the sea because they're on a sound stage.
Gimbal.
Yeah, but it's all perfect.
Yeah.
I think now
their imagination does the rest of it.
Yeah. I think now that they can show too much, it's like now you do a big shot, a high shot, showing where they are in the ocean and
subtitle.
Yeah. But I think that's one of the things that's lost.
Yeah, the ambiguity and the trust in the audience to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. It's like, imagine if they saw a rough cut of Jaws today, they'd go, needs more sharp.
Imagine if they saw a rough cut of Star Wars, the original rough cut where everyone laughed him out the room.
Yeah.
His friends.
The studio would be hiring another director to finish it.
Yeah. Maybe we might have heard more of The Other Side of Midnight.
Yeah. Probably would have. Because nobody would, like, as soon as they went over budget, we're bringing in another director, we're bringing in an assistant.
Yeah.
As soon as they got laughed out, well, we'll just get someone else to direct, finish it for you.
I always think of, like, those what if scenarios. Like, what if they'd filmed his original script, where the Wookiees were, like, green and Han Solo was like a green alien, wasn't he? And I don't know, weird.
They completely changed culture because of merchandising and how films are viewed. It's all that.
Well, you can't imagine Star Wars as a cult film, can you?
No.
I mean, it just sounds sacrilegious.
It would still have an audience.
Oh yeah. I mean,
just a small.
Flash Gordon's just been released on like 4K and like a big nice 4-disc version last year.
It amuses me that I actually thought Blade Runner deserved a sequel that was a big budget sequel when it made no money.
Yeah, but I want more of that to come back. You know, like the art side of cinema, where the fans of the originals will watch it. They don't care about how much money it makes. They just want to see that world that was created years ago.
If you haven't seen it, I really recommend Blade Runner 2049.
I think it's the best sequel that's ever made me think of the original world being there. Like other sequels, I've kind of been like, good sequel, but meh, looks different.
It felt like Blade Runner.
Yeah, like I mean, even the prequels and Star Wars, something still looks off, doesn't it, because of the CG. Whereas you go to the sequel trilogy, and I think that looks perfectly like the original world.
I love it. You know, you've got the adventure Indiana Jones, and you got the lecture.
Yeah.
And Marcus Brody, Stephen Elliott, may he rest in peace. He's obsessive, definitely.
I like the old Team Indy. You know, it's Salah and he's back in this film, isn't he? And it's the one you just said, Marcus Brody.
Marcus Brody. Sorry, that was my terrible Salah impression.
No, that was quite good. I think even Salah does a terrible Salah impression.
Isn't he a hobbit?
He's a dwarf. You need to understand the difference between the two, Steve.
Ooh.
You're all aware of how much Steve doesn't like Lord of the Rings.
I love that. When this came out, the town where we lived didn't have a cinema. So I had to, because it was one of the times when it was opening and closing, opening and closing. So I had to go all the way to Northampton to see it in a place called Cannon Cinema.
Oh, yeah.
Which is now being reopened as a theatre. And at one point was a Jesus Army Centre.
Yeah, oh god, yeah.
And it had the best harmonics I'd ever had been in the cinema. It was just, there's a scene coming up in here, which I will get to. It was like, it's just superb if you see it in a real cinema that has, you know,
Is it the library
sound.
scene?
The bit when the Zeppelins chasing the
yeah, because of the left to right.
Yeah.
Plane and
and I actually looked up. I was planning when I get to it, but I just thought the harmonics in that cinema was superb.
So we're talking. This is Canon, the company.
Canon was the company that had a cinema chain.
Wow.
And screwed over.
And then they didn't.
Yeah. They plowed money from Superman into the Universe.
Whoops, which wasn't a great success, was it?
And then they, I think, saying they owned Elstree at one point.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
That made the home to.
I don't think they made that. I'm sure they did. Was it not their sort of? Oh, here we go.
Aragog. The Aragog?
He's Aragog. He's Grandmaster Pycelle.
Oh, he's creepy in that.
He's Ari Christakos from For Your Eyes Only, and he's General Beers.
Yeah.
He's General Beers, isn't he?
Yeah. Oswald is coming up.
Yeah, oh, he's Hitler, isn't he? Yeah. Or if you're from England,
Mr. Bronson.
Great Chill. Yeah.
Mr. Bronson, creepy, scary traditional teacher from the 80s.
What's his real name? Michael Sheard, is it?
You know, I miss the old days. You know, we should look at do a podcast where we don't use IMDb. We use.
Too easy now, isn't it?
Yeah. This is the old days. You have to use Halliwell.
It's Admiral Ozzel anyway.
Yeah. But Michael Sheard, yeah, Adolf Hitler uncredited. And yeah.
I suppose this is like the apex of Indiana Jones's artifacts, isn't it? The Holy Grail.
I mean, Indy does work best when he's going after religious artifacts.
Yeah.
is. I think that's where Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which we will go into, which I'm really looking forward to. You know, when they change it to the Atom.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, it's kind of. And it was kind of with the 50s B movie sci-fi thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ironically, the page that Steve's on right now on IMDb has an advert for Ford's gin.
Oh. I think it's brilliant. I mean, it came out in '89, so we're looking production time 87, 88. I'm gonna say.
Oh, that's when I was spurted into the world.
I went to. I'm gonna say '94. So you're looking at about 5 years later after this release. I was at Star Wars Day in Elstree, and by then a lot of the sound stages where they would have made this, have been torn down and turned into Tesco's supermarket.
It's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, and all the good land was being sold off. Now they want more studios, and at one point Elstree was up there with Pinewood. It's like the best sound stages in the world. I mean, you got like Roger Rabbit was filmed there. You got Star Wars trilogy. You got Indiana Jones.
They were filmed at Pinewood as well, weren't they?
And the main stages were at Elstree, but Pinewood did host some of the stages. But you got to remember during that period, you got every 2 years you got a new James Bond film. So
yeah, and that is the home of James Bond.
It is,
they had
yeah.
a 007 stage, don't they?
Yeah.
Which was burned down about 3 times.
Well, yeah. And that was a. Oh, we can talk about this because it's of the Harrison Ford link. I mean, wasn't it a custom sound? The James Bond sound stage was built for one of the James Bond films. So they built the set and then they built it. Yeah.
I think it was
Submarine
the
set,
tent.
yeah.
I think it was like the biggest set ever built. I mean, I don't know if there's been bigger ones since, but it's pretty impressive, to say the least.
So you look out the window and you can see it's a fake backdrop, and a mat.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just know it is, but it doesn't matter.
No,
It doesn't matter.
I think what was it? The style of this. It looks, I hate something we were discussing earlier was rope. I mean, that kind of, it's got that with the color palette of very much.
Yeah, like the stuck in the room section.
Yeah. And this is the exposition scene, which you still don't get better than Raiders of the Lost Ark. Except for this time he's talking to an Imperial. Last time he was a rebel.
Yeah.
With William Hookins.
One of the few Imperials that Darth Vader doesn't choke out.
Yeah. Your father. Now we're setting up everything from the start with him looking at the whole Grail stuff.
Yeah. Now that you can't imagine anyone else as the dad, can you?
No.
And I actually think that was his first choice, wasn't it?
Got to be. Who do you get to play the father of a modern day superhero?
The original.
Yeah.
The original acting generation, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you think of him as Bond, he is the original.
I didn't realise this until a few years ago how Dr. No, how the lines like he was late to his own funeral. That was the first time that we had the real quips after the kill.
Yeah.
And it's been used ever since.
Kind of gallows humor almost, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I remember when these first came out on Blu-ray, they did like a super limited edition version. And I pre-ordered that shit as soon as I saw it. And there was like a replica Grail diary with all the pages with it. And it's so like, I'm never going to sell it or get rid of it.
I regret not getting it because I wish I had a Blu-ray player then. I just want to say this: we're watching this digitally, but I am a strong believer in Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Because it's nice having something physical.
Yeah, there's certain films I still buy physical.
I mean, they tried to introduce Jim Broadbent as the Marcus Brody character, but there's not. It's I know it's only his second final Indiana Jones film,
Yeah.
but there's real family vibe to
Yeah,
it.
you believe that these men have grown up. Well, not grown up together, but they've had a long time spent together. So what is he supposed to be like the dean of the university?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't trust him.
Didn't I tell you not to trust anyone? Dr. Jones? Definitely don't trust him. He's a Bond villain.
Yeah.
And a fucking Star Wars villain.
Yeah.
Within a year of each other.
Jesus. I love this traditional,
The map.
map. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a clear sort of. Like the exposition, isn't it? It's just showing you exactly where you're going.
I hope when they do 5, which I don't know if they're post yet or if they're still shooting it. I really want that.
Yeah, I can't see them not doing
Venice, another place that's been in how many Bond films? I know it was in Casino.
that. Moonraker. I think that's it.
And it is in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Another Bond villain.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Alison Ludy. Which one's she again?
Use her kill.
I need to
Jenny
watch that.
Flex.
Oh, nice name.
It was nice having like a female villain, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For a change, and then obviously they carried it on with Kate Blanchett. Didn't they?
Yeah. Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett is one of those people that just refuses to age. Like there's certain people where you think like, what are you actually doing to look that young? That's offensive almost.
Oh, I mean in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
This film between the two of them tomorrow will have faded off. Steven and dies.
Yeah. And then Marcus Brody just
Yeah.
loses the light.
Yeah.
Me and my dad always used to have to do the bit. So
Yeah.
used to put on.
There's no logic to this. She starts a conversation outside about converted church, then
Yeah.
she goes in there. Why don't they just say, let's just
I
stop
know,
talking now until we get in?
I think it's one of those film like things, isn't it, that you just
Yeah.
accept.
You don't notice it until you're analysing.
No.
Which goes back to the whole thing about, the Big Bang Theory regarding Indiana Jones. You don't really need him in Raiders, and the film ends the same.
Oh yeah.
But it's still a fun film no matter what. So it's like continuity errors. If a continuity error is really eating you up and it distracts you from the film, obviously you really don't enjoy the film.
Yeah. I like the puzzle solving aspect of it as well, because it kind of gets you involved in it, doesn't it? Here's a question that might baffle you slightly, or might have a hard answer. But do you see Harrison Ford as Han Solo or as Indiana Jones? Which one outweighs the other?
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. See, I thought it'd be Han Solo actually, but I'm surprised myself that I think of Indiana Jones more.
I think it's because.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Han Solo's iconic,
Yeah.
isn't he? But
Indiana Jones is more of a central character. Han Solo is a secondary character. If Han Solo was Luke Skywalker's character, it would not work.
no.
You need Luke Skywalker, the boring character, to be
Yeah.
the central one, because it makes he's made. The funny thing is, because Indiana Jones as a character. It's not boring.
No, he's likable and he's
Fun.
rapscallion, isn't he? Like, yeah.
And for some reason it works. Because if you take a look at, say, Pirates of the Caribbean
I was
4,
just about to bring that up, actually.
where the secondary character becomes a central character, it doesn't work. But there's a lot of things where Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
and it's down to the writing and knowing the character and the limitations of the character.
Definitely, yeah.
Because if you think about it, I mean, Harry Potter, boring.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker, boring. Indiana Jones, it's called Indiana Jones
Yeah.
saga, or whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
And yet, he's not held, he's got comedy relief with Salah and Marcus Brody. But as a character, he is more three-dimensional than the Harry Potter and Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, they're sort of functionary analog characters, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like they're the hero writ large. And I always find the characters in those films around them more interesting. Like Han Solo, Chewbacca, Princess Leia, Darth Vader, the bad guy.
Ron and Hermione.
Yeah. Voldemort.
Yeah.
Dumbledore, like those are the sort of people you gravitate for. Like, Frodo's boring in Lord of the Rings. Sam's more interesting. The Fellowship are more interesting.
But you got those two ones that all they argue about is breakfast.
Yeah.
Those are the comedy relief.
Yeah, no, they see through for you. And
Yeah.
you do, aren't they? Like, it's almost formulaic. Oh, here's the Raiders reference.
Yeah.
Christians like their old back passages, don't they?
Yeah. Oh. They reference the Ark of the Covenant again in that's just fan service.
Yeah.
In Kingdom.
Kind of annoyed me a little bit actually because they'd already done it here.
Yeah. I like these. I like the Crucible Sword.
Yeah, they're kind of like not bad guys.
They're not bad guys.
There is. They even play the music, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Have you never noticed that?
No.
Really? Oh, just the cue from it. Enough to get the old fans. So am I right in saying you've seen them all at the cinema?
Yes.
At the time they came out?
No.
No. So you saw Raiders?
I saw it in the early 2000s. I saw Raiders.
Oh, you didn't see it even close to the time after it was released?
No.
I presume it was re-released.
Yeah, I saw the first one I saw on the big screen was Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and then I saw Raiders around 2004 time.
Oh, right.
2004.
And then obviously Crystal Skull.
Crystal
We
Skull,
saw it in London, didn't we?
2010. But yeah.
We saw it in London.
Yeah, that was 2008. Is it?
Yeah, 2008. Yeah.
But I got it when earlier this year. I got it. I became pretty obsessive. But I said to my fiance, I have to sit down. I want to see Temple of Doom on the big screen. I want to see Kingdom of the Crystal Skull on the big screen. Last Crusade.
All of them.
Yeah, and I literally we hooked it all up. And I love this rat.
Yeah.
But one of the things was last year, listeners, we sat down, we did do a random film night, we hooked the projector, and our fiancés were in the living room, we were in the kitchen creating a playlist of films for Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I thought it was so brilliant.
That was good.
Four of us sat down and watched Raiders
Yeah.
with the whole big screen experience.
And it's really like, I mean, you can get these projectors for, they're cheap compared to how much you would buy a real cinema one for, aren't they? I mean, you get just as good a picture on them. It's the closest you get to cinema, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're in your own house.
I mean, the thing was, it's good watching films that'll never see the light of day on the cinemas again. I mean, but to actually have it, because you might be thinking you missed or something before your time. You look at this is 32 years old.
Well, all the films I love, I've never seen in cinema because they're before my time. I mean, I've been lucky enough to see quite a few of them now in re-release, but I mean, I can't imagine what it must have been like when no one knew what they were.
Yeah.
Now you're going in with the knowledge of a fan, aren't you? Like, I mean, I've seen like some of my favorite films now.
Dawn of the Dead. I've always wanted to see Dawn of the Dead. It's
Yeah.
my favourite horror film. But I went in knowing every single second of the film, so or Alien, although it's
that's brilliant. That was
you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What I mean, I imagine my dad went to see Alien when he was in the army when it first came out, and he always tells me the story that him and the lads were kind of like, oh, this is cool. This will be like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then they came out, what? It's a sheet, like that not knowing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I imagine the only thing you had were magazines back then.
It was and newspapers because it had Harrison Ford from Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's like to this. I think the thing is, that's why I've been asked before. Why do you go to the cinema to see films you can watch on TV or you've got? I mean, I have this digitally. I've got it on Blu-ray, but if they were doing a real screening, I'd be in the cinema in a heartbeat watching the print.
That's a silly question to me because that's like saying, well, why don't you just read a Shakespeare play, or why don't you just watch a football match on the telly? It's the experience that drives the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just saw a film I liked from when I was a kid at the cinema. It's like experience the darkness and the in our cinema and then in our town when they do re-releases, they do trailers from that year.
Yeah,
and it's great.
it's just... One of the things I mean, tying into this, a few years ago for the 30th anniversary, no, 25th anniversary, they did Schindler's List.
Yeah.
And to share it with you.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was one of the things is I know we've been going off subject a little bit, but a while ago a friend asked me, how did you know, like the Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future? How did you know they were going to be these big movies? You don't.
No.
They were just a film that was out.
They could have
flopped.
flopped.
Went to see it, yeah.
Couldn't they? No, you were saying earlier, Star Wars was due to flop.
Yeah.
No one had faith in it, but it's just somehow it didn't. There's no pure a sounding factor that makes a film guaranteed to be a success. As we've seen with Star Wars recently, people derailed the whole Star Wars story thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
Doesn't guarantee.
No, they didn't like. The thing was, we didn't like episode 8.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go see Solo. The amount of people we spoke to.
I know. Don't get us started on that.
Yeah.
We could fill a whole fucking podcast with that. And it is related because Harrison Ford plays Han Solo.
Yeah. But did we really need Han Solo in episode 9?
Yeah.
Yeah. For the record, I just wanted to clarify something. I was being sarcastic then. And I love having Harrison Ford in episode 9. I just thought it really touched
Ford
me.
in anything.
Yeah.
I'd watch another Jack Ryan film with Harrison Ford as he is now.
I like how he's in peril. Gonna breathe. Now he's back in peril again.
Yeah. And they really try to tell to us that Elsa's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Girl.
You know what? I always feel vibe I always get watching this now. I want to go Solace.
Yeah, the Pope face. I was just going to say that. But it's structured like a Bond film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we've said many times about Spielberg always wanted to direct one, didn't he? And he nearly got the chance with Spy Who Loved Me, actually.
Ooh. But I'm glad he didn't.
So am I.
And I'm also glad the shot didn't work. They didn't work.
Yeah. Otherwise, Alien might have been too revealing as well.
Yeah. I think I would need an excuse to watch Jaws again. That's...
Yeah.
If all Steven Spielberg had done was Schindler's List, Jaws, and the Indiana Jones films, that was still those alone.
Maybe Saving Private Ryan.
Of course, Saving Private Ryan. That's...
I was a bit dodge that scene there, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, he gets in trouble for that now, pushing your head down there. The PC Brigade, well, did he really have to do that? He could have just pushed it to the side.
Yeah, they can fuck right off.
Yeah.
Have you seen that sketch on Family Guy where they say about Harrison Ford saying he wants his family back? He's just grabbing people in the street. Going, oh, our family back. Because a lot of early to mid 90s action films of Harrison Ford had this family getting snatched in it. Have you ever seen Patriot Games?
No, about that's the game out.
That's a good like mid 90s Harrison Ford thriller.
I think I have to do a bit of a Harrison Ford rewatch.
Yeah.
I love that line.
Yeah, it's good.
He's not a bad guy, but you can't be reasoned with.
No.
I
love how even Indy's like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like his cause is more important than.
Yeah. Like Doctor Who. The best Doctor Who villains are the ones that just.
Like the best Bond villains.
Yeah.
They're mirrors, aren't they?
Yeah. And the ones that can't be reasoned.
Yeah.
And something that's not evil. He's fighting something for an answer, but the guy's fighting is not evil, and that people don't know how to react.
He's just an antagonist at the moment.
Yeah.
We don't understand him. The real antagonists are coming up.
Oh yes.
As is Harrison Ford's absolutely diabolical Scottish accent.
Yeah. It'd be any worse than Sean Connery playing
a Russian.
Or a Spaniard.
The thing with Sean Connery is he sells it through his performance.
Yeah.
Americans can't do accents for shit. Like, I'm sorry to insult you, but like whenever they do an English accent, they just put it through.
Yeah.
The only person I've ever seen do it really good was Angelina Jolie from Tomb Raider, but it might be because I absolutely fancy the pants off of her, and it's my guilty pleasure.
So obviously you're looking forward to Eternals.
Anything. Angelina Jolie is like MILF of the century. Sorry to be crude.
Salma Hayek.
Well, they're both in it.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for the fact that I would get lynched by going to see Eternals without her, let's have a guys movie but
I've got Jon Snow and Rob Stark in it as well.
So yeah, she'd be like, I'm gonna have to remind her if she starts saying anything. I'm going Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek in it. So it's like when you watch Thor. I mean, Chris Hemsworth with his shirt off, and I'm like, you are wearing Natalie Portman's in it from Star Wars.
She doesn't get her shirt off, in fact,
sadly. Well, that's closer.
And that really convenient scratch on the clones.
Yeah.
That removes half of her outfit. I love Salah.
Yeah.
He's so good, isn't he? Is it the scene when those two Gestapo agents like, papers? Oh, yes, Egyptian mail.
Run.
I think he figured out here that she was bad, didn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't he say later on, like, she trashed her own room and I fell for it?
She did a good job of it, though.
She did that. Like, just have done that well quick.
How did you not hear her do it?
Music.
That's true.
Did he?
But not that loud. He's
No,
really...
I was reaching there. Never really saw her in anything else after this, did you?
Let's go now.
She does have a rather hilarious real name.
Do he? Born 1966. Here's a girl, Jenny Flex. You got that right?
Of course I did. It's James Bond.
That's what we are going to.
Yeah, I think she's been in like TV stuff, but not really much.
If you look at it, between 2019, where did she start? In 1985, which was the first film, was A View to a Kill, and now not much. Well, she was in King Solomon's Mine miniseries in 2004. That would get a lot of trouble from doing that today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're about to meet the main woman beater, aren't we?
Yeah.
Remember, it's okay to hit them with an open palm.
Oh.
That's not my opinion, if anyone's listening. If you haven't seen Google Sean Connery, Barbara Walters interview, and it will be abundantly clear what we're talking about.
How long will it be before he gets cancelled out?
Sean Connery?
Yeah.
Never.
People are doing it.
Thing is, if you look hard enough, you can cancel everything.
Yes. Yeah, it's so true. I mean, I'm not going to go into it on here, but I, when I get bored sometimes, I think of things that, I think of things like perfect, like say Star Wars, A New Hope.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find ways to pick holes in it, and he's just nitpicking.
Yeah.
And there's things you can literally go on in Raiders. There's a Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom, yeah.
There's
Especially.
a sequence in there, and I think if you wanted to do and you wanted to make a name for yourself, you could literally go over Twitter with a hashtag, and you could do it. But I'm not going to go into it because I don't want someone to just get some idea to become famous in 15 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
Pardon my language. But really, you can do it, and it's just assholes behind computers that
Don't have lives.
yeah. It feels like this, even though it was the 80s.
Yeah.
With some of the casting choices were products of the time.
Of course they were, yeah.
And it does annoy me. I am Mickey Mouse.
He's not actually saying Mickey Mouse. Have you noticed that?
Oh.
I think he made they originally wrote in like a really obscure reference to some guy from the 30s and no one knew who it was, so they dubbed in Mickey Mouse over it. So if you watch his lips when he says it, he's not saying Mickey Mouse.
Maybe they're using some territory, because they sometimes do things for different
Maybe,
territories.
yeah. Nazis, I hate these guys.
Snakes. Why do they have to be snakes?
Yeah. I don't know, rats. They've done like the trifecta of creepy animals now, haven't they? The bugs and then the snakes and what was it, rats and this, and then they went back to bugs with ants, didn't they?
Yeah.
With the,
And gophers. Scariest thing in the
gophers,
movies. CGI gophers.
I wonder if this is a real castle.
That's a set.
No, can you tell?
Look out the window.
Well, because there's nothing there, basically.
Yeah.
The set work on these are amazing, aren't
Oh, that's brilliant. Like I like studio. I do like practical.
they? Yeah,
and,
it'll always be it.
you know what I miss? I really miss is a good map painting.
Yeah, I know, same. Yeah.
Junior.
He's so fucking good at this. This film gets like 2 times better now.
Yeah. 45 minutes in.
Really? I thought it was longer than that.
Yeah. Approximately, I'm just looking at the recording, but this is. And then. Oh, sorry. It's,
The camaraderie is so good. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Each one he thinks it's like, I'm fine, Dad. Good. It's a fate.
this is priorities. What I love is how in Cowboys and Aliens, because this is a passing the torch movie. In Cowboys and Aliens, you've got Harrison Ford and Daniel Craig.
Yeah,
So it's like he's passing the torch. It's brilliant.
he looks so strange to see Sean Connery like as a stuffy old professor.
Yeah. It works.
It does work. It really works. And again, you don't even question the fact that he's Scottish.
Yeah.
I mean, he theoretically could be, I suppose.
Yeah.
That is, couldn't he? And it's one of the few later films where he doesn't wear a wig, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's just got because he was quite old, quite young, wasn't he?
Yep. And isn't it diamonds? He's actually wearing a wig in diamonds.
He's wearing a wig in Doctor No.
Uh,
I think he went bald in his 20s. But bald people are cool.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart.
Steven Seagal.
Not
Oh, sorry, he's bald. You can tell he's bald.
and also not so cool.
No. The Rock.
Sorry?
He's bald and he's.
The Rock?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the film with him in it there. Yeah, ironically, that's another film. One of my favourite action films from the 90s when Michael Bay was good. And the first half of the film was like quite good and cool, like good action sequences. And as soon as Sean Connery comes into it, you're like, oh fuck, Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery's in this film.
Yeah. He does elevate things.
It's James Bond, isn't it?
Yeah. And he was in Marnie.
Yeah. As a rapist.
I kind of wish he could have gotten that retirement just to do.
Just like a cameo or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. Or we can thank League of Toronto Gentlemen.
Right. Even though there's not much of an age difference between the two of them, you can actually believe in
Oh
his
yeah,
stuff and
100%.
stuff.
Yeah. It's just like incredulity that he's just killed someone.
Yeah. You think about it, they're both archaeologists, and theoretically you would say that Henry would be Indy's role model, but he's not. His role model is the guy that gave him his hat.
Yeah. And I would imagine Abner as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It wasn't he. Yeah, doesn't Marion say like she treated him more like
He was like you,
than he did with his own daughter?
Yeah. Which also goes into an area because he said I was young,
Yeah.
but she wasn't that much younger.
No, I've seen loads of posts online about was Indy like a but I don't think
No.
it's that sinister. I just think they didn't think about the line when they wrote it.
He might have been like 20, she might have been 16.
Yeah.
But I never ever saw it. There's nothing creepy
Oh
about
no,
Indiana Jones.
No, I think Anakin and Padme is creepy.
Yeah.
That's quite weird.
10-year difference. Is it 5-year difference?
No, well, it must be 10, isn't it? She's 9 in Phantom Menace and she's 14-ish?
Yeah, so it'd be 5-year
And
difference.
Attack of the Clones is 10 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as creepy when you get to Attack of the Clones, but
No.
you're not going to buy that she's just aged 10 years.
Yeah. She talks in her sleep.
This is great.
I'm sorry, this is so quotable.
It doesn't quite hit home there, does it?
No.
Really thought about it.
This is like.
Just smiles out like, what do you expect?
That's the beauty of it. It's the smile when you say
Yeah,
yes.
so, what?
I'm sorry, but if she's female and heterosexual, because let's not go into Goldfinger territory here.
Oh, yeah.
What's gonna fight you if we got a shot at James Bond?
You want to talk about finding stuff to cancel? Goldfinger.
Oh yes. Goldfinger, the film that says that if you're female and lesbian, and James Bond's there, you're no longer lesbian.
Well, the novel's explicit in saying
Ooh.
that forced himself.
So basically, James Bond's a rapist.
Bond's an asshole in the book. Like, he's not this like amazing guy that we need. Like, you know, like I always like the line in Well, It's Not Enough where M says he's the best we've got, but I never tell him.
Yeah.
Because he's such a big-headed bastard.
He is.
Like he's completely necessary in the books. The way he acts, like that's the time. Like he needed to be that ruthless in the Cold War.
Yeah.
I love this building up of Marcus with this like amazing guy in it, like a Rosetta Stone wherever he goes.
You know when fezzes are cool.
They are, yeah. Oh, because of Doctor Who, yeah. And Power.
Yeah. Yeah, think about it. I mean, we're traveling all over the world with Indiana Jones, just like we travel all over the world with James Bond.
Yeah, also been in James Bond.
I was about to say that.
Hey!
Oh.
In the same city as Raiders' city.
Yeah.
As well.
And I just want to say, one of my favourite Bond films is Ralph Living
Yeah,
Daylight.
yeah, very good. I love this when they bow.
Yeah.
They hit him with- The humour's so well balanced as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's not overpowering.
The thing is, do you think Jojo Rabbit owes a lot to...
The depiction of the Nazis.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's definitely a fan, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, you're painting fun at like someone as sinister as the Gestapo.
Yeah.
Like if you saw them in real life, you know, people that was the end of their life. A lot of people, wasn't it?
Yes.
But in this, they're just sort of like figures of fun, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I suppose it is the way to get back at them, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
I always love that quote from Taika Waititi when someone said to him about, is it not an insult to your ancestors that you're playing Hitler? And he was like, well, not really. It's the ultimate insult, isn't
Yeah.
it? And what's the Polynesian Jew?
Yeah, Polynesian
Playing
too.
Hitler.
Yeah, he like wouldn't think of anything worse than
Yeah.
being played by him. But just like, you know, in Jojo Rabbit, how when the comedy manages to, when you actually have something real dire happening, boom.
Yeah.
And the fact that Steven Spielberg, for all these years with the Indiana Jones movies, is able to present this one, when he did Schindler's List, he's able to bring to the screen one of the most evil people in both in films.
But yet here you're kind of like bad guys.
Yeah.
And they're like,
And I think that shows how great a filmmaker Steven Spielberg really is.
yeah. Well, anything can be taken with a humorous sense, can't it? If it's done the right way. I mean, it is hilarious when the Nazis have the piss taken out of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because laughing at them is so easy because they're so ridiculous. Aren't they?
Yeah.
As a people, like not a people, as a party. We know when you hear about things like Hitler being obsessed with the occult, and
Yeah.
you think, what? How has this man got so much power? He's nuts.
He was.
Like bonkers.
But he had charisma.
Yeah, he did.
Just like Donald.
Yeah. Gave people what they want.
Did I just miss the line where she's like, I can't forget how wonderful it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Michael Bay. He's
Yeah.
great.
What else has he been in?
He's been in a few things. You ever seen A Bridge Too Far?
Nope.
Sean Connery's in that as well. So is Denholm Elliott. You've seen a lot of the sharp films with Sean Bean.
Admiral Kelly in
Oh, Tomorrow Never
Tomorrow
Dies.
Never
yeah,
Dies.
yeah, he's in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, well, is it any wonder we're actually doing another James Bond? We're doing a James Bond film next year.
I can't wait. I don't think we'll necessarily do them in order, maybe either.
No, that'd be boring.
If you want to.
No, that'd be
No.
boring. I think a love of Indiana Jones and a love of James Bond just go hand in hand.
It does, yeah. They're very similar. I think James Bond is kind of like the action. Well, Star Wars has action, but it's the action spy equivalent of Star Wars, isn't it? You know, everything after it probably copies a little bit. And I mean, I'm right in saying that it was one of the best franchises, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Past one film.
Yeah. Oh, well, then of course you got Universal Monsters.
Yeah, and the Carry On films
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, I find like I can only think of that as having multiple sequels with the same character.
Yeah.
You know.
The closest thing if you look at it science fiction, you're looking at the Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah.
But in terms of 25 films, I mean, okay, Marvel has done more now in the MCU.
Marvel has definitely revolutionized the cinematic universe thing. You know, where like each film is part of a whole. You know, but Bond was like the first one to do like the character is the same guy but played by different people, and you don't question it.
No. And you look at like Batman. I mean, it made it easier for Batman to go from Michael Keaton to Val Kilmer to George Clooney to cancelled out after George Clooney.
Yeah.
As they cancelled out, I mean, because he killed the franchise.
Yeah.
And the genre for a period.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But I think, Connery to a lot of people is the defining Bond.
Yeah, for me, I always see something of him in every Bond following.
Yeah. Vodka Martini, shaken not stirred, or Bond, James Bond.
Just just even if you watch Doctor No, I wouldn't necessarily say start with that if you're going to start from the start, but the introduction, when he flicks the lighter, just the way he says it is. They've never said it like him. I think they all sort of unconsciously channel Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I still can't believe he's not with us anymore.
No,
What film did you watch when he passed away?
Highlander.
Highlander, did you?
Did you Highlander, you?
No, I'm just boring and watched Goldfinger. I watched a couple actually. I watched Goldfinger, The Rock, and what else did I watch? There was another one as well that I watched the day after. Oh, I can't remember now. Hunt for Red October.
Oh. I just wanted to watch Highlander. I in my head.
Highlander's great. He's good in that as well, isn't he?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
I think he's one of them actors, isn't he, that can like just sort of he lights the screen up when he's on there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You just know he's such a presence. Unlike Liam Neeson, we don't care about his accent.
No. You're right. I mean, after Star Wars, I think, in my opinion, you got after Star Wars, you go Back to the Future, Indiana Jones, and Ghostbusters as being the three big movies. But Back to the Future, superb. Ghostbusters, superb. But Indiana Jones has that something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not disrespecting Ghostbusters or
no,
Back to the Future. And I really am looking forward to Afterlife. But I don't know, there's just it's hard to
It's got a charm, hasn't it?
Yeah. An innocence, I suppose.
That's another word I was just thinking of with Henry, isn't it? He's so like naive and everything, isn't he? Like, we're not taking the boat. Like, no, Dad, it's a distraction.
Yeah.
Like,
how did he get to shut the door?
It's
crate.
another film thing, isn't it? Like, you just accept it. And this moment as well here, where Harrison Ford's like, "Yeah, I got them." And Dad's just like, "What are you laughing at?"
Indiana was definitely, even not the way he didn't turn out the way he had expected.
No, I think he's a bit like stick in the mud, isn't he?
Yeah.
They have such a good relationship, don't they? Like by the end of the film, he has come to respect him. He genuinely looks heartbroken when he thinks Indy's dead.
I love that scene which we've got coming up. I always thought, this is the problem with this film is more than, like I said, any of the other ones is that you do fall into the trap of watching it.
Yeah. Even like quite a simplistic action sequence compared to what these two have been in.
Yeah.
But it's just grabs your attention. It's simple, and you can see who's doing what, where geography and everything is.
And sometimes, it's like in New Hope where he's being chased by a handful of stormtroopers in for the special edition. There's
Yeah.
like hundreds of stormtroopers. And this, we just got a few guys on bikes,
Yeah.
but there's still the tension.
And there's no difficulty in seeing who the bad guys are. You don't get Nazis, so you're never gonna have a problem with,
Yeah.
like the actors of action thing, where sometimes films get a bit confusing because of the editing. You can't tell who's shooting at who.
And they're faceless because they've got their like little their helmets
Yeah.
on, and you've got the way Henry's got his hat and Indy's got his fedora.
I like as well that I never even put it together before now that does Indy maybe get his hat thing from his dad because his dad's wearing his old hat and he's got
Could
a new
be.
hat on. Well, a new at the time. Because loads of men wore hats then.
Yeah, hats are cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think I might say I know commentary, but years ago, about 20 years ago, I really wanted a fedora, and all I could get was a black one. So I have a black wool fedora.
Still cool though.
It is. I always maintain that that's the first, as an adult, that was the first something I bought because of a film, even though I had been collecting toys.
Yeah. But like a functional thing you can wear.
Yeah. And it was all because of Indiana Jones. So,
Well, I can't remember. I love how he's like, yeah.
he's very one track.
Yeah.
But then again, so is Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he is more like his father, isn't he, than he thinks. But he's not as. I don't know, I don't feel like he's as sort of selfish as his dad.
No.
He cares a bit more, doesn't he? I don't think his dad's bad. I think he's just so wrapped up in his work, isn't he?
Yeah.
Typical sort of, maybe dads were what I love him.
I think people are like that. It's, they want it so bad and it's his life.
Yeah. And then by the end, he learns to let it go.
Yeah.
He tells Indiana, when he uses the name, that's the only thing that gets his attention, isn't it?
I think it's like people whose all they know is academic, so they don't experience life outside.
No.
Of
It's sheltered, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whereas Indiana went off and had all these adventures and did all the groundwork to get to the things, all Henry's been doing is sitting in his lab or in his office looking for, he's obviously gone out there and found stuff. But
Yeah.
he hasn't risked life and limb like Indy has.
Yeah.
So you could argue that Indy is probably the more obsessive of the two.
Yeah.
He's willing to go out there.
He's willing to die.
Yeah.
For what he's doing, isn't he? I think Harrison Ford looks a little too smug in this German uniform, doesn't he?
Isn't that like a callback to Raiders?
Where it doesn't fit in.
Yeah.
Dressed really quickly.
Yeah.
I like that line as well.
Yes. There is Ozzel.
This time he's the top man.
Yep. Was it J.K. Rowling that said it's alright if they burn the books because they have gone out and bought them?
Yeah, well, in a lot of southern states in America, they ban Harry Potter because it's promoting witchcraft. And And if you could see my face, you'd be seeing my eyebrows raising.
Yeah.
How stupid that is. But yeah, someone brought it up on a talk show, and she was like, "Oh, that's fine. They had to buy them anyway, so
Yeah.
I'll still get paid." But this was more sinister. This was like,
That was.
and Einstein has always had a famous quote about people that burn books will one day burn humans.
Yeah.
And it's true, they did.
It's like, today we societies have people. If you hide the facts, it's so easy to make the fiction a reality.
Of course, yeah. 1984.
Yeah.
Winston Smith's job is to erase history
Yeah.
and present it as the party wants him to present it. That's the Soviet Union, and now in the West we do that.
It's easy. I mean, look at all the stuff with COVID.
Yeah.
And all the conspiracies that were all everything that's going up. Is people are
mean,
more willing to believe fiction than fact, and if you have all this.
There's some skills in southern states that don't teach evolution or
Yes.
dinosaurs. It's not as far away as you think.
Oh. I love this signing.
And it's the way, it's the most valuable thing ever, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I like how he straightens himself up thinking that he's busted.
Yeah.
So
Just
he's
like
going out like a man.
Yeah. Very funny if you wrote Admiral also.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Wrong franchise.
Have you heard the fan theory that Admiral Ozzo is a rebel spy? That's why he's so incompetent. Because he's actually trying to stop them from finding him.
That would work.
I don't know, it's one of the only ones I have done. That's not bad.
And it would actually be nice to do that whole twist.
Yeah.
But then again, they did do that in episode 9, though.
Yeah, with
Domino.
General Hut.
Yeah. Also.
He gets killed by the Grey Intelligence.
Yeah. Great Intelligence of Doctor Who. For those who don't know.
In Game of Thrones as well, isn't he?
Yes. Oh, I popped big time. Richard E. Grant in there.
Playing an actor.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a senior about, isn't it?
Yeah, that's coming up after this when they go into the biplane.
This is one of my favourite lines. No tickets.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I think he's so sexy like that.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I never really got why people. I mean, I get why, but I never thought Harrison Ford was traditionally handsome. Maybe it's because I'm older, but I don't know. He is, but.
And he's got that rugged good look.
Yeah, it's like one of those sort of he looks like a rough and tumble man.
Yeah. I mean, in American Graffiti.
Yeah, he does. And in Star Wars, the original trilogy as well, he looks quite handsome. Han is supposed to be a rogue, isn't he?
Yeah.
Connery's just Connery. Another joke about uniforms not fitting.
Yeah.
Look, Henry here, who is that? Can't see without my glasses.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I love how you think he's gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah, they understand that.
Yeah, they do.
And they're not questioning the fact he's speaking English.
I've noticed in real life though, when I've been to Germany, the Germans are really, really they're arrogant bastards when it comes to learning other languages.
Oh.
They know English, they just won't just speak it. I like this scene as well. It's really well written, isn't it? You know, the fact that they don't have a great. I mean, I think that then you couldn't say to your dad, something I really need to talk about, like feelings, or you'd be like, yeah, now and then, isn't it? I think that's all he wanted, wasn't it? Someone to talk to as well. And I like the line where he says something like, you care more about people that have been dead for 600 years than your own self. Yeah, that one.
You got to find them. What are you going to talk about? You've not seen each other for 20 years, so.
That's the thing, though. They haven't got anything to talk about, have they?
I mean, they're full of different styles of archaeology.
And the other guy's like, yeah, I'll get you involved now. When you think of Sean Connery, do you always think of him as he is older or as Bond? Because I always think of him. I saw more films with him when he was older. So I always think of him as the older Connery.
I'm the same
with the grey beard and
yeah. Because you got Untouchables in this,
Yeah.
which was the career resurgence.
yeah, why did he sort of fade a little bit in the 80s? Not fade.
Well,
but
you did Never Play Never Again. That says it all.
yeah, have you ever seen Zardoz?
Number one
It's good. It's good. He has an amazing outfit in it.
song. Why was it? This is the bit. No, it's coming up too, but it's just the sound that he coming up this whole sequence
Yeah.
with the clanking of the metal and the Zeppelin. I mean,
You can even hear it, like, even though you can't hear it as well, on the screen you can even hear the stereo thing, can't you?
As we're doing this, so that we don't get breach copyright, we actually got one ear in the headphones, and the other so we can hear each other talk.
Yeah, and I can turn the sound on mine down so I can hear you properly.
I've got older headphones, so it's.
Oh no, mine aren't state of the art. Don't be £10 off Amazon.
Oh look, this is this. I mean, this is superb. No, this is you go see this in the right. This is just superb.
I imagine it's ILM, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skywalker sound. I mean, even though it's all composites,
Yeah.
but it's still brilliant.
But no, I find that kind of strange because I always assumed Henry fought in World War One.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's sort of most men fought in the army.
Yeah.
That in those days, don't they? But he doesn't know what a clever economy means. I'm sorry, they got us.
But he's an academic. He might have thought.
Maybe, yeah.
Or he went to Canada.
Well, the Americans came in late again, didn't they?
Yeah.
Sorry, the Americans existed, but you did.
Yeah.
We're not thankful.
No.
I think in war, Americans are like that guy that turns up to the party late drunk that makes it more interesting, isn't it?
That tells you that they were the party.
Yeah. Whereas the British are like the people that were arranging the party and the champagne glasses out.
You look at I've never seen it because I refuse to watch U571 where they say that they found the.
Oh, I haven't seen that for years. There's Bon Jovi's in that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't seen that. Real Pax was in.
But I refuse to watch anything that
Changes history.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. love it when the shot goes through the rearview mirror.
Yeah,
This is very North by Northwest,
yeah, definitely. I was just thinking that actually.
which is one of my favourite movies.
I saw a T-shirt once with Henry on it. It said, "This is intolerable."
I mean, it's blue screen. You know how it's all done in miniatures.
Yeah, but you believe they're there
Yeah.
as well.
You know what? I really miss. I mean, this type of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Right, that's the editing.
Just, I miss this type of film. Like, let's just have some fun and let's not get bogged down in, like to quote Monty Python, let's not get bogged down in who killed who.
Yeah.
Like just no gritty details, no PC bollocks. Just watch a film and have a good time.
And as much as we love the superhero genre, but saying when they see, like you see a film, it ends, and you're not setting it up for the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
I mean, we only got a next one because
that
was like around the time everyone was making sequels to older films, wasn't it? We had Die Hard the year before, didn't we? And
the thing is, as long as the characters there, it's like as I said with Lethal Weapon, you could have done a Lethal Weapon 5 and just had all the characters sitting around a table talking for 2 hours.
Or in a bar or something.
Yeah. People would have
lapped it up.
Yeah, because it's as long as the characters there.
It's why Blade Runner worked, wasn't it? Because you did feel like that could have just been gone for 30 years. It's ironically Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
But like you felt like you'd returned to be exactly the same world as before.
Oh, it's a superb film.
Isn't this
Alexei Sales?
Yeah.
From.
Oh, sorry, Alexa just thought we spoke for a
minute. Yeah. Alexei Sales, who is from, I know him from The Young Ones.
Yeah.
The Young Ones was a TV series with Rick Mayall, Aid Edmondson, Nigel Planer, and Mike, the cool guy whose name I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, Americans love it, apparently.
He plays Harry the Bastard.
He does?
Yeah. In one of the episodes where they have a video recorder.
Oh, so you're not really like Indian?
Alexei
Sales.
Sales.
He's supposed to be that. He's actually English.
He's English?
No.
Sure he's English. Don't quote me on that. Let's find out.
The only thing about this film is I don't know who Pat Roach is in it.
Pat Roach is. We'll find out in a moment. I'm just going to find out. Alexei Sale, who plays the Sultan. He was born in Liverpool, 1952. 2 episodes of Casualty.
I'd be a Sultan.
No. Let me find who he plays in the Young Ones. He plays the Bolowskis. If you want to watch the Young Ones, watch the episode Nasty, when he's credited as Harry the Bastard.
I was never a big fan of the Young Ones. I always preferred Bond.
Oh.
I don't know if that speaks more about my personal comedy tastes.
For me, it was the Young Ones. Pat Roach was Gestapo.
Oh, it could be anyone, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was one of them.
Other rally.
They were too little, weren't they? Pat Roach. Pat Roach is a big guy, isn't
he? Yeah. You'd have been at the rally, I think. That's it.
Right.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah, he's been in all 3 of them, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You get massive like Lawrence of Arabia vibes from the last third of this film.
Oh, yeah. I have to see that film.
Oh, it's a genre that's dead now, yeah, isn't it? You don't get films like that anymore. The photography in it, absolutely sublime. It's the film that inspired Spielberg to be a filmmaker as well. I love how he just nicks the water canteen off of him straight away. It's quite a sort of almost a cliche, isn't it? The whole Hitler and the occult.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. I think, because it's not, the scope's not like what you have to say. That's what is a personal story of the three of them.
Yeah.
Three of them against the Nazis.
Oldest story in the book. It's the oldest story.
Yeah. Here's another thing, even though she's not really a love interest now, but Alison Dooley goes back to the whole Marion Ravenwood strong female character,
Yeah.
which was missing in Temple of Doom.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Willie.
No.
I think you can't ever mention that woman without sounding like you're talking about someone.
Yeah.
Can you? The same problem when you talk about Philip K. Dick.
Yeah.
You say you really like Dick.
Yeah.
Do you now? Giggity.
I'm looking forward to doing Blade Runner next year. That was the one.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to say that loud enough. Yeah, same. Wow, was that 40 years old next year?
82, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Blade Runner, The Thing, and E.T.
You too, yeah.
2 cult, 1 major success.
From this director.
Yeah. My fascination with E.T. lasted from the time it took me to get from the cinema to John Menzies when they had Empire Strikes Back figures in.
I think that's one of the funniest stories I've ever heard. That your fascination lasted for the time it took you to leave the cinema.
Yeah.
And every shot.
Yeah. Went back to Star Wars.
I used to, when I was a kid, I used to love E.T., but it's really too sort of sickeningly sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Close Encounters does it much better. The sense of wonder thing. I think E.T.'s too on the nose.
I love this.
It's just a pair of academics.
Yeah. Well, and they in a frat house. You get the impression they were in a frat house.
They probably
together.
were like the 30s version of
Yeah.
them. It's a great line. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Cool, stepping more like yourself. So he did that reading.
Yeah, those rolls the R.
Yeah.
Like the Scotsman, doesn't he? Wasn't the like the sort of slogan and the tagline for this like hanging out with the Joneses or something like that? Or like
The man with the hat is back, and this time he's bringing his dad.
oh right, okay.
I
No,
think.
thought it was like keeping up with the Joneses.
That is.
I've heard that somewhere.
That's trailers.
Yeah. That was good as well. Though.
Yeah. I thought that was missing with Kingdom.
Yeah. Well, apparently he's in the new one, isn't he?
Is he?
Well, I've heard they're thinking about characters from the fourth bring back.
I'd bring him back.
That fourth looks terrifying,
Yeah.
doesn't it? This is a great action sequence, isn't it? With the tank.
I mean, they said, was it with Raiders? I think it was. They said that you're Indiana Jones is his look, and
Yeah.
you as soon as he puts the hat on, the jacket. And if you watch a scene like this where he's on the horseback, you always know it's Indiana Jones.
Yeah. It's just simple, like, recognition, isn't it? Like that, like I said earlier, there's a lot of action films now where you find it so hard to keep up with who's who in a fight scene because they just cut too much. Whereas if you have a distinctive looking character, well, like the bad guys as well, you know who the bad guys are because we know who all the Nazis are.
And they even dress the key, your main big bads different to your and it's
like the henchmen.
Yeah.
Well, like the Imperials in Star Wars, they're based off the Nazis, aren't they?
Yeah.
And Vader's all dressed in black. Like, how much more bad guy can you get?
Exactly. Although the stormtroopers are white.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
But they're also iconic, aren't they?
Oh yes. And then you can literally take the soundtrack out of this film and it would be completely different. The score.
It'd be weird.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched a horror film with no music?
No.
It's not scary.
Simplicity of Psycho?
Yeah, well, you can find loads of stuff on YouTube about people taking the music out of key scenes in films. Like, watch the shower scene from Psycho with no music. It's not scary at all. And
No.
the scene from the end of New Hope with the medals with no music. It's just strange.
Yeah.
Like,
There's not a lot going on.
he actually loaded his revolver.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't really think the Russians were that good as bad guys.
No.
Because I mean, the Russians are kind of like the other side of the Nazis as bad guys in films, aren't they? They've been bad guys for years.
Yeah.
Bond.
I know we're going to cover this when we do Kingdom, but
Yeah, we'll
I-
go more in depth.
yeah, I liked the idea of what they were trying to do by
Yeah, I
changing
did.
it over, but
Yeah,
it just didn't work. So that just
that was
didn't
good.
work. It just, yeah, because they tried to, I wouldn't exactly change genre, but just tried to keep up with the amount of years that passed between
Yeah.
the films, but it just didn't. It lost in translation.
Yeah.
Like they get points for trying, and I have reassessed Kingdom.
Yeah, I never thought it was terrible. There's got to be Vic Armstrong in here somewhere, isn't there? Apparently he was chosen because he looks like Harrison Ford.
Nice.
So I've never seen a picture of him when he was younger, so... And he's also a Bond collaborator, isn't he?
Yeah. Very. German soldier uncredited, Vic Armstrong.
I looked up what that guy's saying there, and apparently he's saying Americans, they fight like girls.
Ooh. Stunts. He's still doing stunts. Stunts for Penny Dreadful 2016.
I think he's retired now, though, hasn't he?
Let's see what he does for acting. Stunt double Return of the Jedi. Harrison Ford, Flash Gordon, stunts.
I mean, he's the man, isn't he?
Yeah.
Stunts.
Oh.
I mean, there's some of the stunt guys are like celebrities in their own ways, aren't they?
Oh,
Like,
yes.
they can. Is it Peter Diamond for Star Wars? Isn't it? The guy did the famous thing, Bob Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
Is he the sword guy?
Sword guy.
Yeah. And then obviously for the early Bond films, there's a guy called Bob Simmons. He was like the man when it came to Bond stunts. He's actually the guy that does the original barrel shooting sequence. It's not actually Sean Connery in the
Nice.
first two films. It's 3 films, sorry,
Aye.
and then it's Connery in from Thunderball onwards.
Whoa.
So
Not even in Gold. Not even in
Yeah.
Goldfinger.
technically
Ah, did I know
that's
that?
not Sean Connery shooting the camera.
I knew it was in the first one, but I didn't know it was.
But they reused it just for Much of Love and Goldfinger, and then they changed it in Thunderball to Connery shooting that.
I suppose it does make sense. It's a spy. You really shouldn't.
He's
see
far
him.
away anyway. And
Yeah.
he's wearing a hat as well.
I love this. Constant pressure on him, isn't there?
Yeah.
I like as well how Henry's not this great fighter, even though it's Sean Connery, like, and you can tell he's holding back.
Yeah.
He's trying not to just knock his guy out. He is Scottish after all.
You can't take away that Indiana Jones is the hero.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Everything about him just makes me happy. As much as he's an arrogant ass in real life, he's such a good actor, wasn't
Oh, he's brilliant.
he? Marcus Brody's like C-3PO, isn't he?
Yeah. Less whiny though.
Sorry?
Less whiny than.
Less
yeah.
whiny, yeah. Was there ever a point in the original trilogy where you were fed up with C-3PO?
God no.
No. Like, he's annoying, but he's in an endearing way, isn't it?
C-3PO. R2 and 3PO are like a good gateway characters for a kid.
Well, they're the only ones that have been in nearly every one of them, aren't they?
Yeah. And
Even the pointless cameo in Rogue One, you were like, I kind of like that.
it's R2 and 3PO. I love this. Just Harrison's look. I love this. This is just comedic gold. Not the guy, not the Nazi getting killed. But
Well, that is funny.
yeah.
Good model work as well.
Yeah.
That'd be CG now.
Wait, a gopher.
With a gopher, yeah.
Yeah, it went over a gopher first. I had to. With this being the last one, they could have killed off Indy.
Yeah, they could have. Harrison Ford does like trying to kill off his characters,
Yeah.
doesn't he? So good, isn't it?
It is. Plus, it's the
Yeah,
framing.
it gets you a little bit as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The fact that there are people that never tell their kids they love them. And his beard looks amazing as well.
It's worked because this is really the first time up until the point where now he's dragging himself up. You actually think that did he really kill off Indy?
Yeah, I know. There's part of you that doesn't always think he's going to make it up.
Oh. But if you're wrapped in the movie and in the moment, then that's how you should think. I love this. Just let go of
Like
it.
what you're looking at.
Yeah. You should think. It's a relief on Henry.
Yeah.
You should think that he's dead.
Yeah.
Because if you go into really cynical, then you're taking yourself out of the film.
Yeah.
It's like going back to episode 8, where Admiral Akbar and Leia are thrown out of the cruiser. And I was sitting on the edge of my seat, then I literally, when we started the cinema, I went back in my seat, so this is how they're going to play this game. And I was like, okay, bit of a mood. Then when she comes back in, it's like the relief.
Yeah.
And
the music.
Yeah, that was perfect, and that's how it should be.
It was so much of a relief. We actually forgot Admiral Akbar.
Yeah.
How could they do that to us?
It
really was a trap.
Yeah.
I was just like Admiral Akbar.
Oh, he's
Sure.
cool. Even though he's only really known for It's a Trap.
Yeah, he's just the Mon Calamari. Quite cool.
Yeah.
They had that guy in Rogue One that was the Admiral.
Yeah.
And he was Calamari. Makes it sound like he was great.
Isn't that one of George Lucas's favourite foods at the time or something?
Probably. But we did say this, didn't we? The prequel and original trilogy, George Lucas had a thing for names. He was good with names, wasn't he?
Superb.
I mean, it's hard to know any of the background characters from the sequel trilogy, isn't it?
Even the central characters.
Yeah, like they're sort of interchangeable, aren't they?
It's like we said earlier, I thought you couldn't remember Hux's name. It's like,
Yeah,
Donald
I had
Gleeson,
to
if you
think.
remember the actor's name. But even Indiana Jones,
Yeah, you know.
Marion Ravenwood.
Yeah, and Abner is their father. Like you never even see him.
And you can remember people, Momo Naden from the Cantina.
Yeah.
Or it's.
Or the what the band was called again? Not Mac Rebo.
That's. You put me on the spot.
The Cantina band.
It's.
I mean, I'll always remember the tune, but play that song again. Okay.
I should know this. Because I know one of the characters plays anything called the Biff. I've known it for years, but I'm having major brain freeze right now. I can't believe I completely forgot.
Well, that Cantina scene. There's so many things going on. They actually released a book with short stories about all the characters in there. Like each character had something, like a story of why they were there and that. And that's the wonder of that scene, isn't it?
It is.
But that's talk about another film now.
The problem,
whenever this was shown on telly, this scene was always cut. Do you remember that?
I was watching video.
It's definitely coming on.
Oh, this is brilliant. It used to be PG as well.
Yeah, I know. But PG's meant like didn't fuck around. Pause. I could never believe Pause was a PG for all those years.
Oh, this is brilliant. It's what you don't really see anything.
No, I know. It's like Psycho, isn't it? How many times do you think you've seen more in that shower scene?
When I saw the cinema last year, I actually.
Well, it's Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
There is no massacre.
Figuring Dan and Total Nose. It was going to bug me.
Figuring Dan and the Nodal Nose. We used to be better, didn't we?
Yeah. But in our defense, we spent a lot of time watching Indiana Jones this year. We kind of referenced Star Wars, but not watched Star Wars this year.
No, I haven't watched the original trilogy for a little while, actually, now.
But
I watch it like every week.
When the boss is at work or she's doing something else, I will put on bits of my favourite Star Wars film just to get told, turn it off. She gets. But I've got some good news, listeners. Next year we will be doing a comprehensive breakdown on Callum's favourite Star Wars movie, Attack of the Clones, because it's funny. Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
No, those ones are better. I always think
Attack of the yes.
There's a very ironic movie coming up here. See if you can notice it. When Tom Connery is shot.
It's not a war for PPK, is it?
It is.
Oh.
And he's being shot by a Bond villain.
Oh. Damn. I tried to think what it was, and it's the only thing I can think of is a Walther.
German gun, isn't it?
Ooh. Didn't he use a Beretta in the book?
Yeah,
I actually pointed out.
You briefly see him with it in Doctor No when he swings guns over.
Because he said about Beretta jamming.
Yeah, they were notorious for jamming before they were sort of redesigned in the 80s. But there's that scene where they bring it's the guy that would become Q, Major Boyd. When he comes in with the Walther, and he's like, Beretta, yeah, nice and light in a lady's pants.
Yeah.
And Connery just looked at him like, what? Talk about my gun like that.
Didn't he drive a Bentley in the book?
He did, yeah, 1933. And it had an Amherst Villiers engine. And one of the characters in Casino Royale is called Villiers.
And now, even when you had that he flirted with BMW.
Yeah, I don't like him in BMW.
And then when he goes back to the Aston Martin for Casino.
Just seems right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even though he wrecks it.
this is the beauty of this, is we can actually talk about James Bond and Indiana Jones, so this is actually a perfect movie for this kind of conversation.
Well, not only you've got James Bond, a James Bond villain, and a James Bond girl in it.
Yeah. Could we argue, because, just there's talking about us two here, this is the perfect Indiana Jones film because it's Spielberg,
Yep.
Lucas, so you've got, of course, just speaking for myself personally, you've got Jaws and Schindler's List.
Yeah.
And then you've got George Lucas, of course, and Harrison Ford for Star Wars, and of course you've got James Bond. So is this the definitive Amboy movie?
Yeah, possibly.
Or
So it's like one of the originals, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just have like there's a lot of fan service in it, isn't it?
yeah,
Before that was really even a thing.
they could even go so far and say with Game of Thrones because of how massive that was.
Yeah.
With
Also,
yeah, so you've got Veers, sorry, brain freeze again.
Julian Glover.
Julian Glover. So
He's been in quite a few famous things, isn't he?
yeah,
Like when you actually think about it, like he's kind of like a bit part guy, but he's done some good bit parts.
and he's in Harry Potter as well.
Yeah. Is it Aragog?
Aragog.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, in '89 you've got Back to the Future Part 2, you've got
Lethal Weapon 2.
Lethal Weapon 2, Batman, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters 2 as well.
Yeah.
Sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that?
But and then there's no disrespect to any of them, but this one is leagues. If you go in terms of construction
Yeah.
and everything, like back to did something unique by going to himself into the first movie, and Batman, after the lull with Superman created,
Popular superhero.
yeah, but still, Indiana Jones has still got more of that, like we're saying, that fuzzy family.
Nostalgia.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean that's no disrespect to any of the other films we mentioned.
Out of all of those, I watched this the most.
Back to the Future, Part 2 for me.
I never saw Back to the Future till I was in secondary school, which is quite shocking.
Mm.
I'd always seen bits of it on telly, but I was obviously like Superman, Batman. They were always my and anything from the they still are. But this was always one that I had on a lot. I think that tape was probably fed at me. Did you ever watch the tape so much that it didn't work?
Star Wars.
Or you had to keep rebuying them? Or did you?
I think I had it off the TV because it came on TV the same year it came on video on VHS.
Like that would be a copyright nightmare doing something like that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Like I can't believe that we were able to take something off the telly and say, yeah, there you go, you watch that, it's really good.
Now,
It's crazy.
Nowadays, when it comes to copyright and piracy, people just literally sit in the cinema or they get hold of a master copy and it's already up online before. The amount of people you talk to and go, oh, I just saw the thing, you say, oh, which cinema do you go to? Oh, I got it on a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Then don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah.
The amount of people that say that, oh, they don't see anything wrong with piracy. I go, thank you. You're the reason there's only superhero films in the cinema. Thank you.
Yeah. And then they moan that the cinema's closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your fault.
It really annoys me that does because I mean, piracy annoys me because as a lover of cinema because you're basically making the studios to want to put out stuff they know is gonna sell.
Yeah.
No, and you can't take risks anymore because of how much are they going to lose through piracy.
And you can't go above a 12A anymore, can you?
No.
I could not honestly tell you what the last 18 was on to.
Parasite?
I think it's 15, wasn't it? It's about the highest you go now, isn't it, really? Halloween was even a 15, I think. Wasn't it?
Watchmen.
Yeah, that was 2009 as well, wasn't it? I think a film called The Neon Demon, I went to see that. That was 2013?
So,
16?
why are films getting lower ratings yet TV shows are getting more gory?
I don't know, maybe it's because you can get away with it on TV a bit more because things like Game of Thrones and The Sopranos and
American Gods,
yeah, like intense TV shows that even Star Trek has swearing in it. It's strange.
Yeah.
don't know. I think TV's the big thing now, isn't it? Like, there's a lot of drama going on TV, and it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good stuff. But you have more scope to. You have entire production companies behind TV shows, don't you? Like Game of Thrones, like each episode costs more than some films cost.
Oh.
You know, and you can actually see the production value. I'm not going to say you can't. But I don't know. I think it's just because it's the dominant storytelling form at the moment, isn't it?
Yes.
For long-term storytelling, you can get away with it. But then it's weird because you know shows like Walking Dead, they're extremely gory, but there's no swearing or sex,
Yeah.
and you're just like, what? It doesn't make sense.
It's what do the Americans accept? No, it's gore, but they won't accept nudity.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or bad language.
Yeah.
I think we're a bit more liberal here, aren't we? We kind of don't mind a bit of everything, do we?
I think in the UK, nudity and foul language is more acceptable than gore.
Yeah, which is strange because we are still quite Victorian towards sex and
Yeah.
stuff at the moment, aren't we? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's weird that we accept. I don't know. Does that say something about us as a nation that we're more sort of? I don't know. Or is it just the senses, the actual senses?
I think we're more open-minded.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot. Well, there's a lot of films. There's a Blu-ray label obviously called Arrow Video, and they do like older horror films and colour films. And a lot of films that they re-released on Blu-ray, that's the first time they've had a certification since the 80s. You know, because of the video nasties.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't accepting gore back then.
No.
Different conservative government, wasn't it?
Oh yes. But video nasties meant that films went underground,
Yeah.
and people still got hold of them.
Do you remember that happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite
Tape trading.
quite draconian, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like burning books.
Yeah.
I think it's more the hypocrisy of. I've seen quite a few documentaries on it, like politicians saying, "Oh well, it's okay for us to watch it, and it's banned, but all you lower class workers, you won't be fined or be able to handle it."
Yeah. If you see, yeah. Then again, look at politicians and all that sort of people do get up to get away with.
Worse than that. Sorry, went off on a tangent.
Yeah. But if you're going to go into tangent about this sort of thing, when you consider that this was a PG,
Yeah.
more about to come up next.
That's
with
what I was actually getting at, but
Yeah.
I got sidetracked a bit.
But that's what the beauty about these podcasts are, you know, is that we do tangent, but we always find our way back.
Yeah.
I mean, that was gruesome, and they always do.
Well, it used to scare me as a kid. I used to go like that when I was a kid because I don't like that when he turned to a skeleton and grabbed it.
For me, it was Raiders, the bit with the end with.
Oh, yeah. See, that never bothered me.
I mean, you know how they did it with like the wax pieces and.
Yeah, I
the
think
heat?
maybe because it looked a bit more fake.
Not when you're 1982.
No. I get that. Yeah.
81.
But I
Sorry.
watched this one first.
Yeah. It's the subtle things, like, you know, just the change in the makeup and.
Yeah. And the stop motion as well.
Yeah.
Is it stop motion?
There's a bit stop motion. Yeah. Anthony Diddy's screaming is still nowhere near as annoying as Ronnie Scott's
No,
screaming.
definitely not. Never been more annoyed of a Willy in my life.
Oh, I love that with the
Yeah, is it his pin or his ring?
ring. I
Is
think.
it a ring? I like the night guy as well.
Yeah.
The lighting on him is really good, isn't it? Make him a pale.
He chose poorly. He has a better British accent than I do.
Yeah, he does, yeah. I like this idea as well that, you know, Christ being just a guy that's a carpenter, like his cup wouldn't look like a king. And the idea that it tricks greedy people.
Yeah. You think the knight would have told him if you picked the wrong one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I think the point is you should know, it tells you what kind of person you are, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like that, the idea that you can't leave as well. You're only immortal if you
stay there. So there's a catch.
Live a life or just be alive.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like the Arthurian Holy Grail is just like a magic cup, isn't it? And it just makes you think of Monty Python.
Yeah. With the lights on the round table. You know,
What do you
times
mean? African or European swallow?
and Patsy.
Actually, yeah. Harry Gilliam, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it goes to show you, you get some people you mention Indiana Jones to now, and they look at you like,
You're talking
yeah.
Russian.
And you think about Monty Python is, you forget how long ago it is. What to me, this is an old film, even though it's 32, and it's trying to explain, and you think, give up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But
See, there's still water in the cup, even though you poured it all.
yeah.
Like Connery's like, has that got whiskey in it?
Yeah. It better be short and short.
Any women I could punch?
There she is, there she is. That's brilliant. Don't forget, please.
Like, they're polite. I can't work out if Sal's meant to be Arab or whether he's meant to be English, because in Raiders he sounds really English, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think that's his real accent, isn't it? And then in this one he kind of puts on an accent.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be like an Arab, isn't he?
Yes, I'd go with that.
Like Trevor Slattery in
Trevor!
and he's got a normal accent and then he's suddenly from Liverpool.
Oh, Trevor's brilliant.
Trevor Slattery.
Actor. I'm not going to go into spoiler territory to a film which we did a podcast for, which just put loads of spoilers in.
Yeah, just go watch it.
Yeah. But if you know what we're talking about, you'll probably enjoy it.
And if you don't, then we're just talking about Iron Man 3.
Yes, Iron Man 3.
Yeah, don't let it go. So, hey! I still haven't seen Frozen.
Let it go.
Join me to the back of that very short queue.
Yeah, I actually had to watch it. It has got something in the second one that was funny.
I know what you mean, yeah.
The song. But it's in the position, it's love this scene. Sorry. Boom, of course, we're Indiana, so he listens.
It's nice, his dad lands. It spins around and
Yeah.
his dad lands to let it go.
He realises what's important. And I love the musical cues.
Tom Williams is like an alien from another world, isn't he? Like, how is he human? I always thought the knight was kind of like it.
Yeah. You destroyed my house.
Yeah, it's alright till you came.
Yeah.
And those dudes with the armbands.
Yeah. That means he's still alive there.
Will he not die now that it's come out of the...
No, he's still got it there.
Beyond the seal, isn't it? Isn't that when it all collapsed?
Yeah, but it's only... It was collapsing, but it's still within the...
And it fell down the hole, didn't it?
Yeah, but it's still within the confines.
Oh, maybe.
Theoretically. I don't know, they just messed or they've just lost an artifact and killed the knights.
Oopsie!
And the Knights of the Crucible Sword would theoretically be after them.
Yeah, that'd be a good sequel.
Yeah.
Did we just think of a better sequel?
Yeah.
Illumination.
This is an argument why they should never have done a fourth and a fifth film, because this is the perfect ending.
They've rode off into the sunset,
Yeah.
literally, haven't they?
And the hero theme.
Yeah. And Marcus being hilarious and nearly falling off.
I love Sal's laugh. Yeah, but George has so. Is that a Chewbacca reference?
Yeah.
I've got a lot of fond memories of that
Yeah.
joke.
You know, I just the timing and
The music.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine this scene with no music.
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh. Indy, even though I think he's gone first, it's Indy that leads the way.
Yeah.
After Marcus.
It should be, yeah.
And I love it. And this is the music. It's, you walk out, you come out of the cinema.
Feeling good.
Yeah, high as a kite. And the sunset, going off into the sunset. This is just pure.
Like an old western, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's beautiful. I mean, matte painting probably.
No, I think it's real, isn't it?
Damn. I thought the sunset might be real, but the clouds.
The sky maybe is. Yeah.
But this is. If you get the chance and you haven't got them already, get the soundtrack to all four of them. This
just anything John Williams has got in there.
So this has been. We're going to talk through the credits. This was actually one of the harder ones.
Wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be.
We went on to a lot of tangents.
Yeah.
But
they were related.
Yeah.
They play that music when you see the picture of England.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Design Denver.
As usual, yeah. There's quite a lot of Star Wars crew on
Yeah. I was going to say there earlier, in Back to the Future in '89, it was Back to the Future Part 2 year for me, really.
Oh yeah, Part 3 was 90, wasn't it?
90, yeah. But when you look back, out of all the films that came out that year, it was Last Crusade, and this is not disrespecting Batman at all, or Lethal Weapon 2, which to me, a lot of people forget Lethal 2 came out that year.
I'm Batman.
Well,
people I speak to, like younger people, don't know that.
As far as a lot of young people are concerned, they didn't start with Dark Knight. Batman Begins existed. Yeah, exactly. But '89 was such a good year.
It was a good year, and it was 1 year after the other good year.
Yeah, you were born, and I
It was a genuine good year for films as well, wasn't it?
Oh, and License to Kill. No, yeah, it was License to Kill was '89.
Yeah.
'89. Oh, to go back to '89. I spent more time in the cinema.
Did you not see License to Kill?
No, but I would have spent it,
Saw Batman.
I did see Batman.
Saw Lethal.
Yeah, yes. I didn't see License to Kill. I'd love to go back. Like I said, why we host film nights is it's so that we can do this.
Yeah, so we can see them as close to their original format.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to be like win the lottery and just get a cinema room, wouldn't it? I wouldn't ever leave it. I don't think. I think I'd just put a sleeping bag in it.
I would love to actually. I would love to have the money and go to a place where there was an audience. You'd have to have the audience to make it not just profitable, but to make your money back. And just watch classic. Have a whole day of classic films.
Yeah, or a week.
Yeah.
That's why I'd love to live near London, just so I could go to the Prince Charles Cinema every day. I've only been once.
I saw Kevin Smith there do a talk about.
Oh, did you?
Around about the time of Jersey Go.
Oh,
he did a stand up.
Wow, that was amazing.
It was.
I saw Die Hard trilogy there.
Nice.
And before the films came on, the guy was at the front was saying, just in case you're all wondering why we're saying trilogy when there's 4 films. There's only 3 films.
There is only 3 films. Wait a minute, it's 5 now. Still 3.
2 of them are just him dreaming.
Yes. But you could argue this is the perfect trilogy.
Yeah, it is definitely one of them, isn't it? With Lord of the Rings. And
I sat through the extended cuts.
You're a lucky man then. Just people have never seen it.
Yeah, they can take the 12 hours of my life back. I did 24 hours. I watched them years and years ago.
Did you go to cinema?
I went to cinema, so that's like an extra 3 hours. So it's 12, 24, 27, 12, 24. Yeah, it's 33. 33 hours wasted.
I actually did do with our other friend, the marathon that lasted from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at night. So exactly 4 hours.
So I just have to kick it in.
Mrs. Donovan, Mrs. Glover.
Yeah.
That's your wife?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Pat Roach.
Yeah, I still don't know which Gestapo that is. There's loads of Gestapos in this.
I keep the Indiana Jones soundtracks on my MP3 player.
It's
like
technically called the Raiders March.
Raiders March, yeah.
Just like the Superman March.
Saying earlier, Canon photographed Canon Elstree Studios Bornholm, England.
Where is that? London?
Just outside London.
Right.
You can actually see it if you use Midland Main Line. Well, you used to be able to. I haven't done it in ages. They used to, where was it? Uni. Anytime I go to London, I'd always look out the window at the right spot just so I could see the back of the studios from the train track. I don't think you can do it now. So as we ramp it up, I'm going to say, our next one is going to be Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which
I've
I've
actually been looking forward to.
Yeah. I'm going to say thank you for listening.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed this.
Yeah, it's been good.
This has been Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I've been Stevie.
I'm Callum.
See you all soon.
Bye.